All right, welcome back, everybody. This is part two of our sister conversation series, and this week I have my good friend Jody-Ann Rochester with me. Jody-Ann is somebody I met years ago, and when I met her, we met through business. She was really quiet and shy at the time, but I've seen her blossom and grow into such an outspoken, beautiful young lady. I just love seeing her on my Instagram feed, and so I'm happy to have her with me today. So, Jody-Ann, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. When did you find out that you had polycystic ovarian syndrome? What was that whole experience like for you?
I found out that I had it roughly a year and a half ago. And while it was just frightening that this is the condition I had, I was also relieved because at least I knew what it was now instead of just thinking that I have a hormonal imbalance and I didn't know what was wrong with me before. So I had a sense of relief, but at the same time, I just was concerned about how to treat it.
Okay, that's I think a lot of what a lot of women feel once they find out, oh my gosh, I have PCOS. So when you were first, when you first diagnosed, you found out that you had it. What was it? What were the symptoms that kind of led you to the doctor's office in the first place?
So the symptoms that led me to the doctor, what led me to think I had it in the first place was actually a video that you shared, um, and it resonated with me because all along I was going to the doctor, like I had irregular periods all my life, and I was going to the doctor, and they would just keep telling me that they didn't see any signs of any fibroids. All I had was a hormonal imbalance, and I'm like, there has to be something more. And then when I saw the video you shared, that was like the first time I'm ever hearing the word PCOS. And I'm like, um, everything that you were describing, just the constant weight loss, the weight gain, the irregular period, like the mood swing, everything, it was just all that I was experiencing at the time.
Wow. So after that, you went ahead and got your ovaries checked, and you realized that you did indeed have PCOS.
Yeah, I actually went back to the doctor and I'm like, I watched a video and this is what the conditions are, and I'm thinking these are my symptoms. So I let them write whatever test I needed to do, and I did it. And it turns out that that's what I had.
Wow. And it's I feel like we're let down a lot by the medical field, women's health in general, not just PCOS, but I feel like it's always a struggle to get answers. You have to go out there and find information for yourself and come back and be like, no, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. But I'm glad you were
Yeah,
able
I
to get
feel
the
so
answers.
too. Like I feel like they're just quick to shove. Like there's just not much work that's put into actually diagnosing you properly. Like they just want to know that you have an irregular period. Oh, it's a hormone imbalance. Let's give you some birth control to
Yeah.
kind of treat this instead of trying to really figure out what's going on in the woman's body.
Exactly. So speaking of birth control, did they recommend any kind of medication for you? Have you taken any kind of medication?
They recommended birth control for me, but no, I didn't take any birth control before figuring out that I had PCOS. Yes, I tried to regulate my period with birth control, and of course, that only frustrated me more because it wasn't helping with my weight loss and my weight gain. And yes, my periods were regular now, but I had all these other issues like that came with the side effects of being on the birth control. So I mean, it fixed one tiny bit, which is just regularizing my period, but I had so many other issues that I needed to correct.
Yeah. It doesn't fix the root cause, it only fixes a symptom of PCOS.
Yeah.
So, after coming off birth control, I know that right now you're managing your PCOS well. What are you doing now? What are the strategies that you're implementing now to manage your PCOS?
Well, right now, I've learned that your eating, your diet, it really affects how your body function and how it operates. And for me personally, I love meat, but I realized that in eating meat, it doesn't work well with my body. So I've just had to cut back on the amount of meat I eat, especially if I know I'm expecting my period or I'm on my period. Having meat in my diet at that time is just, it's a no-no. The dairy is just like a no-no because it triggers so much other things. It triggers the acne, a lot of different things that just happens within my body. So I try to manage it. I realized that my periods have been better since I've cut back on these things. So that's really what's been working for me.
Nice. So I'm happy to hear that. So outside of dairy and meat, do you cut down your sugar at all, or your gluten, or your
I
carbs?
yes, I have actually gone gluten free too.
Nice.
I don't do sugar at all. And I find that cinnamon tea helps, like the cinnamon tea bush.
Mm-hmm.
That does help with cramping, and it does helps the flow as well. So during that period, instead of like taking regular painkillers, I actually just drink the cinnamon tea.
Okay, so now your periods are regular.
Yeah, they actually come every month. I mean, it's as regular as it has been without any other kind of medication.
Nice. I love that for you. So outside of the regular periods, have any of your other symptoms been alleviated as well?
In terms of weight loss, yes, because I've learned somehow to just manage my weight better. Because of course I've cut certain things out of my diet, like certain things that like carbs, they really just don't work well with me. So I've really cut back on some carbs. And I've realized too that certain foods just with PCOS, it just doesn't go together. So once I've cut those out of my diet, then I'm fine.
Okay, nice. You sound like you have your diet under control. One thing that ladies who reach out to me always say is that it's really hard for them to change their diets. How did you go about changing your diet into, to what it is today?
It was really baby steps into changing my diet because we are creatures of habit and we tend to think that we can just get up one day and just stop doing something. But it really doesn't work that way. It was really just a gradual change for me. So I didn't just get up and stop eating meat. It was like a gradual change. So I listened, I stopped red meat, then I stopped chicken, then I was only fish, and it was just a gradual process. So I still have carbs because, of course, you always want to crave some kind of carbs, but am I gonna be having carbs all the time? No. Am I gonna have carbs during my period? No. So it's just finding a balance. That's what really helped me. And my balance might be different from somebody else's balance. So I feel it's really important for us to find that balance for ourselves.
I 100% agree, and I agree so much that the best way to manage your PCOS is through your diet. You can supplement your way to death. You can take every root and herb that they have on the market. Unless you change the way that you eat, you won't really see the results that you can see from, improving your PCOS.
100%, yeah.
All right, so I have one last question for you, Jody, and I will let you go. A lot of people who watch this, sometimes this is they're like you, this is the first they're hearing about PCOS. Maybe they relate to the symptoms, maybe they were just diagnosed. What advice do you have for somebody like that who has just been diagnosed, is a little scared, not really knowing what to do? What would you tell that person?
I mean, it is scary, but it's definitely like not the end of the world. It's not like a fatal death. You can still get pregnant. There are people who have gotten pregnant whilst on PCOS. So don't be so scared by all the side effects because you go through the side effects and then you feel so overwhelmed and you want to go into this depression. But once you learn to manage it, it's very much something that can be treated, and you can live a very full life just the same.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Jody. This will also be on my YouTube channel, so tell the people where to find you on Instagram.
You can find me at Jody-Ann Rochester on my Instagram. That's my Instagram. And it was definitely a pleasure to be here with you, Roni. And again, thank you for that very first video that you shared, because you are part of the reason why I figured out that I had this in the first place.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's the whole point of me doing these things, just to share. It was so hard for me when I figured it out. So anyway, I can create a community. I'm happy to do that. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This was part 2 with Jody-Ann Rochester. We had a great conversation, and we will see you in part 3. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.